Well, if you're a Sony shooter and you're in the market for a full-frame native 35mm lens, we now have three options for you. The bigger, faster, and more expensive 1.4 Zeiss, we've got a small and versatile 2.8 Zeiss, and now the brand new 1.8. So we're going to break these lenses down in detail and find out which one you should be considering here in 2019. Let's go! Hey guys, so today we're comparing the Sony 35mm full frame lenses, and yes, there are some available third-party lenses, but we're not going to talk about those today. We're just going to focus on the native ones, and for the sake of time, this won't be an overly technical review. This is just a brief overview of the things that you might want to be considering when choosing one of these lenses. Let's dive in. We're going to be comparing these lenses head-to-head in terms of size, build, performance, price, and value. This should hopefully give you a better idea of what you're really looking for and help you to make a better decision when buying one of these. So let's look at size first. A big determining factor depending on where and what you're going to be doing with the lenses. The biggest of the three, of course, is the Zeiss 1.4, coming in at a hefty 630 grams or nearly 1.4 pounds. It's 4.5 inches long by 3 1/8 inches wide. In all things considered, for a 1.4, this lens is decently reasonable. Next we've got the new 1.8, and this is a great size lens, basically being the exact same size as the 55 1.8. It weighs 280 grams or just about 0.6 of a pound, coming in at 2 7/8 inches long by 2 5/8 inches wide. But if it's ultimate portability you're looking for, the Zeiss 2.8 comes in at 120 grams or just over 1/4 of a pound, measuring 1 7/16 inches long by 2.5 inches wide. Needless to say, the 2.8 wins the size category. Next, when it comes to build, they're all very well made. The F1.4 obviously having a bit more weight to it, a little bit more hardy I would say, and it does have an aperture ring. Not my favorite feature, but some people might find it useful. The 35 1.8 does have a focus hold button, which is really nice, and the 35 2.8 has no buttons at all. They all have a great metal construction with plastic internals, and unfortunately, they all lack a rubber gasket for proper weather sealing. I think ultimately build is going to come down to personal preference, but for me, I like the features of the 1.8, and that's who wins here. As far as performance goes, there are a few things to consider here. The 1.8 is brand new here in 2019, the 1.4 and the 2.8 are definitely older lenses now, and with time comes better performance and technology. Aside from the obvious difference in maximum aperture, there's also a minimum aperture difference in the 1.4, and the minimum focus distance does vary as well quite a bit, with the 1.8 winning. Filter size does vary as well, as you'd expect. Early tests are showing that the 1.8 is actually sharper than the 1.4, although you're not going to get quite as nice bokeh. Autofocus performance is good across the board, with the edge going to the 1.4 and definitely the 1.8. And of the two, the 1.8 is definitely going to be the winner, especially when it comes to video and low light performance. When it comes to these three lenses, they all perform well, but the 1.8 is sharper, has better autofocus, and is image stabilized. It's really hard to beat, and for performance, the edge goes to the 1.8. In terms of price, the most expensive being the 1.4 at $1,600 American dollars, the 2.8 being an overpriced $800 now, and the newer 1.8 coming in at $750. As far as value is concerned, it's really not hard to see where this is going. The 1.8 is a newer lens with better technology, and it sounds like it's going to be very comparable to the 55, which is just outstanding. At the end of the day, of course, it's going to be up to you to decide what's best for your business or your hobby. Maybe you're a sucker for that 1.4 and really want that beautiful bokeh. Maybe you're traveling and love street photography and want that tiniest possible lens. But from where I'm sitting, the newer 35 1.8 is going to be pretty much superior in every single way, especially if you're doing video work It looks like just an all-around great lens, but again, you really can't go wrong with any of these lenses. I really can't wait to get my hands on this thing to do a full review for you guys, and I hope this video was helpful for you guys to maybe make a decision on which way you're leaning. If you found it helpful, if you liked this video, consider hitting that like and subscribe button, and drop your questions and comments down below, of course. If you're interested in buying one of these lenses, I will throw some affiliate links in the description below for you that'll take you to where you need to go. And like always, make mistakes, be yourself, and get out there and take some more pictures. See you next time, guys.